Is the meaning of feminism hating on men? Recently, I have seen this trend of women hating on men, which makes sense because we are threatened by a man every time we breathe. Dress modestly because men might harass you, sit properly as it might look inviting to men, smile less because men might feel like you're flirting, but don't be too stern because they might think you are rude. I get it, our whole existence is to avoid doing basic stuff like dressing as we like just because we might entice men. All the restrictions we have are because of men, so it makes sense that we hate the one thing that is making us dim or sparkle. Also, these are the same people who shame us for not shining brighter. Ugh, the hypocrisy. But is it the right decision to hate men? Hey, I get it, I used to be a misandry too. But I have met a few men in my life who are worth talking to about women's issues, who genuinely cares about listening and understanding. I'm lucky for that, I know. But still, they are just handful. A lot of other men I have met are misogynists, or thinks that women are just abusing men with their quote-unquote privileges. But we know that the privileges exist for a reason. But some of them don't. Why? Because they don't see our part of the world, which is exactly what I used to do in the past. When I hated men, I never questioned how life was for them. Yes, as women, we see a lot more abuse in our daily life, but that does not mean men's issues are not as important as ours. We understand other women's issues better compared to men's issues. Why? Because we ourselves are not men. That is understandable, but if both of us are doing the same thing and hating on each other and not communicating it, how are we going to solve our problems? Whenever a woman brings up a gender issue, men will complain about how even women are abusing their rights and all. I agree, and I do think men are allowed to bring up their issues, just not when we bring up our issues. If they really do care about their issues, they should bring up their issues even when women are not coming out with theirs. And you know what? I said it all to a man when he was complaining about men's rights when I talked about abuse against women. And I expected him to defend himself. But he stopped his complaining and thought for a while and apologized. It really surprised me. And that gave me a reality check. Sometimes all we need to do is communicate our issues rather than just walking out when we feel misogyny. Half the people of human race is men. So how exactly is hating on men helping us? Most of us do want to have a male partner or friend in our life. Even if that's not the case, we do have men in our family. So is hating on men really the right thing to do? We can see the red pill community on internet hating on women already. Do we really have to be the equivalent of red pill community of women? Hating on men will blind us to see the struggles they are going through. There is a segment from one of my favorite YouTubers come psychiatrist, which you might know as Healthy Gamer. You can find it in my description. Yes, teaching men should not be our responsibility. But is that really the kind of community we want to live in? A community where people are not willing to help each other because we do not want to inconvenience ourselves? I understand that there are men who are not willing to listen no matter how much we try to explain. You don't have to try and explain stuff to them. You can put effort to explain to the few men who does listen, but ignore others who don't. That is so much better than shunning them as soon as they say something misogynistic. Next time, when your partner or male friend or even female misogynist say something misogynistic, try to pace yourself and try not to be aggressive. Try asking what made them feel that way and be open to whatever they say. And then give them your genuine opinion on it. Sometimes we don't have the answers for some stuff they ask. For that, we can acknowledge our gaps in knowledge and tell them that we hear them and we do care to make the world a better place for everyone, not just women. Feminism is a fight against patriarchy, not men. Men do deserve to be taught what they do not know. Because if no one teaches anyone, how will anyone ever learn? Prioritizing your peace is not a bad thing. But if you want to have peace and equality around you, you sometimes have to be at war. Ironically, peace sometimes comes from fighting battle against those who cause the distress. Women who are abusing gender specific rights. Sometimes we do see women who take advantage of privileges against men. Alimony and fake cases are an example for that. In such cases, let's not be mum about it. Let's raise our voice against them. That's how we can make men realize that feminism is not just for women but also for men. We cannot blissfully ignore the damage our own gender is making in the world and expect it to become better. So let's try to do the work because it's worth it. Exploring opposing political views to try to learn from the other side is something only wise people do. So, why don't we adopt that into our lives? Although we might not agree to everything they say, you'll be surprised how they came to the conclusion about certain opinions they hold against women. Sometimes, for some men, there is actually good reason. Wouldn't it be a duty as a feminist for you to make men realize that feminism is not about stepping on their rights but rather pulling our rights up? It might not make them turn to feminists, which is okay, but it would have given a little reason for them to question that their understanding of what feminism is kinda outdated. And that alone is enough. You cannot change a person's deep rooted misogyny or deep rooted misunderstanding in one single talk. We are not trying to play God here. If you do care to change the world, you have to take the step towards understanding everyone in the world. Not individually, of course, and it includes men who are misogynists.